Hey everybody, welcome to Playing Board Games as we review the Miskatonic Museum Mythos Pack. So the Mythos Packs are the tiny little things that have little story scenarios as well as a bunch of player cards, if you don't know what those are. If you don't know what those are, I don't know what you're doing in this video. It's a very specific video to click on YouTube, but thanks for stopping by.
That's a strange decision.
We have a bunch of player cards that we're going to review. We're starting with Emergency Aid, the Guardian card. It's an event, commits for costs 2, commits for a book and a foot. I'm all over the place. Choose an investigator location, heal 2 damage from that investigator or from an ally asset he or she controls.
This is one of those cards that looks pretty solid, and it's not bad, but in my experience, pretty much every time I've seen it, I've been a little underwhelmed. It just the fact that it costs 2 is a little bit of a downer, especially in a already resource heavy faction. Definitely not bad. Like I said, just it is quite flexible. You can heal yourself, you can heal other people's allies, you can heal your guard dog. Best use is probably just to heal your beat cop. So you can keep pinging things. But
sometimes it's deal 2 damage over the next 2 turns for free.
No, it's not bad, it's not quite as good as you imagine it will be.
I would probably play this over First Aid level 1 if that's the effect I was looking for. It was a way to keep other players in the game or myself in the game
Man,
longer.
there's so many cards I put over First Aid level 1. I played 2 generic skills over First Aid level 1 and just fail tests less often.
Yeah, right, Travis. I understand that you don't approve of me having chosen First Aid level 1 as one of the cards in my deck.
How gruesome is this art, though, too?
Oh, yeah.
That guy is fucked.
This is surprisingly gruesome. Look at his face. He knows it, too.
He's up gonna die.
I love how he's got this massive gaping wound on his arm. He's got a tiny tissue with alcohol on it.
He's just... Maybe just get the iodine.
This is gonna sting a bit.
This is a card that I've never played.
It already stings a lot.
Yeah.
It heals from allies, which is a nice part of the card, but yeah, I don't know enough to say, so that's why I love it.
It's not terrible.
Next card's sweet.
Yeah,
Our good friend Brother Xavier. We play
this guy
him all the
awesome,
time.
Cost 5, commits for a brain. You get +1 brain, and you may be assigned damage and or horror dealt to other investigators at your location. You can reaction when he's defeated, deal 2 damage to an enemy at your location. I've never played him, but I have reaped the benefits from him.
Second best blue ally, sometimes the best depending on your build.
Not a whole lot of blue cards where I'm I would pay 5 for that.
Yeah.
Also, the only constantly
lightning gun. It's always there's one big gun in particular that I would pay 5 for all the time.
This guy is a huge gun.
This guy is the second card.
He seemed very good.
I'm okay with paying 5 for all the time.
Yeah.
He seemed very good in your William Yorick deck when
yeah, you just run him out and you're cool, he soaks a shit ton of damage.
No,
he dies, he kills that, I kill a guy, he's here.
He's fantastic.
Just in every blue deck, he's good.
He's good, yeah, all the time.
He soaks brain damage for Roland, who's got garbage brain damage, and improves his mediocre brain score. In Zoe, he makes her brain score...
3 is not mediocre. 3 is better than most people get.
Yeah, whatever. Zoe, 2.5 is average or something. In Zoe, Zoe's probably actually the worst one, but there's a really solid taunt build for her. I think that he's quite good in being able to just soak a ton of damage from guys. In Mark, he's really good because you can put damage on him and draw cards, and he makes your brain better, and
a big
he
part
protects
of what he
your
does
allies.
Is just soak 3 points of brain damage.
He's an ally for Leo Anderson.
If you're playing a blue character, you don't get a very big number on the blue health.
You should buy this guy, and then the only question is whether you're purchasing him first or second, and how much leftover experience you have at the end of the first scenario.
I would usually use him for the extra bits that I have if I don't have enough afterwards. If you're playing a big game hunter,
he's good filler.
Blue character, then you don't want to spend your experience on this guy. You don't even really want to spend it on beat cop, but I would anyway because I think it's better than buying the big gun first.
And if you're playing multiplayer and you play this card, the people you're playing with are gonna love you because everyone loves Brother Xavier.
Unless you refuse to take damage for them.
Yeah, this card is probably much worse when you're playing solo.
Not that much though, I don't think. He still takes damage for your entire team when you're playing solo.
If I'm playing solo, though, for each part that I care about for him, I'd probably rather purchase something else.
Yeah, I think that is fair. I think he is worse when you're by yourself. But I mean, and then you also look at the cost of where you get the more brain and meat damage.
The big thing for him is because he can the second he can take damage from other people. That's at least 1 resource from his cost.
Yeah,
it goes into that. And it's dead if you're playing solo. especially like as a blue character, you're generally the protector from monsters and stuff. Like you usually have someone who can evade or fight back a little bit. You got a purple character or a green character or something. But your yellow guy is going to rely almost entirely on you, except for Rex, to like not die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the sort of card that lets you funnel. When you play multiplayer, you need to specialize in things, and this is, on one hand, a very specialized card for what blue characters need to do in a multiplayer environment, but also like it just does so many different things and fills so many niches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like even I would pay 3 for an ally that sat in play and gave me +1 brain, because the game's always like, test your brain, take horror for how many points you fail by.
Yeah.
And as a blue character, that's a very real concern.
Yes. Yeah. And he also,
like, I would pay 3, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
and as Justin always says, the art. I always talk about the art. He looks badass.
Oh yeah,
He does.
there's a tentacle, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, man.
He's like you're really gonna fuck with him.
I have a theory. I think he is Rasputin from Russia reincarnated here to.
No, he's
us.
pure of spirit.
Yeah,
That is what
he's
his
bad.
title is.
Yeah. Not the big man on campus, but still good.
Yeah.
Next on to the yellow cards. Welcome to Yellow Can Do Everything, the Dunwich chapter.
I've got a plan. Cost 3, commits for fist and a book. Fight. This attack uses book. You deal +1 damage for this attack for each clue you have.
This is really the start of what I think is the biggest fault of the player cards in Dunwich, where yellow can actually do everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, imagine this. You're playing Rex Murphy, and you
You
get attacked by a
investigate.
deep one.
You investigate once, and this does 2
But you've got
damage.
7 clues, and it's no problem, because you get to attack him with your 4 book, which is probably better than that, because you've gone to school, and you
Have
know,
a higher
like,
education.
Maybe you just blow them the fuck up. Like, that's
This is backstab, but
better.
sometimes, usually better, and you're yellow.
Yeah.
Like
It's conditionally better, but the thing is, yellow has clues, right?
Mm-hmm.
there's also a tactic somewhere. Can't play it. You should.
Okay, so so here's the build. You're playing evidence, and you're playing like that other blue card that gets things, and like art student, and some sort of roll-in deck, and it's dirt. And everyone
this
hates
wouldn't
you
be
because your
awful.
book score isn't great, but it's not terrible either.
You're trying to kill people without got a plan. You're like,
And they're like,
"No,
why
your
aren't you
plan
just
is
carrying a gun?
I think
Just
this
shoot him. I am carrying a gun. Why would you shoot him? No, I've got a plan. Don't.
I've got a plan, and it doesn't involve using my bullets right now.
I think if you're playing with 3 people, like how we usually play,
Yeah.
where we each take a roll, this is a lot weaker. I think there's better cards if you have if you're the clue getter when you have someone there to protect you, like Bryn.
4 damage is a lot.
There is something to be said for like when you play in a group, especially cards like this are actually kind of just. They're like a little bit anti-fun because part of the fun is like everyone has their niche and something
Yes.
they're good at. But when you have one person who like. When we did that Kirk Coast run, I was Carolyn Fern and had the key VS fully stacked, so like I can do anything.
Yeah.
I don't need you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not fun
Yeah.
for the other people. Like sometimes you get a scenario where like everything just falls in place and your character's like, I'm the best. And that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's alright.
But like you don't want it to consistently happen.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm also going to complain about later with like the next card as well as with those unidentified garbage when we get to that.
Well, let's go over to Pathfinder, which is not the role-playing game. Instead, it's a card called Pathfinder. 3, commits for a foot. During your turn, if you're not engaged with any enemies, exhaust it, move to a connecting location.
So now we've...
It's like shortcut.
Yellow is obviously the best at getting clues. They usually... Now they can do damage because I've got a plan. And we get a second card that gives us free move.
Yeah.
As well as having cards from the core set like... what's it called? Stupid...
I don't know, it's a yellow card.
Old Book of Lore. So we can dig up the cards we need for specific situations.
Yeah. Yeah, like this card's great. It's with 3 activations. In my opinion, it's more than paid for itself.
The
It's
biggest...
it's like Leo if Leo costs 3.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time, the extra action is move.
Especially a multiplayer thing. Between this and Shortcut, it's very, very strong in like pretty much any yellow character. In fact, like after I've got higher education, I would strongly consider this for my next upgrade. In that, you get to spend all 3 actions investigating. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about I have to spend like a movement to get into this place and then investigate and then like leave because there's a stupid giant hole in the floor or some garbage. You can just be like, yeah, I'll Pathfinder and I'll investigate 3 times and I'll shortcut out, no problem.
Yeah.
Or use my second Pathfinder.
Yeah,
If you can have 2 Pathfinders, you're like, I will never stop moving.
The fact that this costs 3 is
Move out,
also
move
like
back and do my turn.
it's just not a big deal in yellow because you spend so many actions. As a general, you spend so many actions investigating that you just don't spend money most games.
Yeah. It's very good.
This card is very, very good.
So if you're playing yellow, I think it's this pack and the next pack. Just buy those ones if you're only buying specific ones. Does the next one have higher education? Or is it the one after?
It's like the one after.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just this is a must-have if you want to be the broken yellow character.
That one's like your Rex, but only one time.
Yeah.
All right, next
But
up
it's
we
also
have.
like if it were like.
Or if your Rex, you're just like, whoa.
Next up we have Contraband.
If you're some trash green cards.
Costs 4,
Oh,
commits
man.
for a brain and a book. Choose an asset controlled by an investigated location. Double the number of ammo or supply tokens on that asset. It costs 4.
Now-
Tell us about the green cards.
My favorite color in this game is green, and sometimes Fantasy Flight puts out cards that hurt me. Physically. In my heart.
Up until
This is
like
one of
the
them.
second last pack, maybe the last pack from Dunwich,
Yeah.
one of our favorite memes was like green cards were just bad. And this is a strong supporter for that.
Yeah. So, the only place I can ever see this being good is, you're playing with 2 or more players, and one of you is playing Safina, and one of the other people is playing a blue character who is playing like the big game hunter build with like lightning gun or shotgun or something, and you're sitting there trying to help them have enough ammo to kill things.
There's actually a pretty sick probably support
So-
build where your opponent someone on
Yeah,
your team
like-
just tries to dig up a shotgun, and then you're like, use emergency cash, give that 4 supply, I'll double the supply on it.
You can't use emergency cash to give that 4 supply because it
not?
doesn't give ammo. It gives supplies. It's fucking terrible.
That is fucking terrible.
So yeah, like there's not like you can use extra ammo.
What the hell uses supplies besides like first aid?
Not garbage things.
I think lockpicks.
Liquor,
Yeah.
lockpicks uses supplies. There's a lot of green cards that use supplies, but like, yeah, it's not supplies aren't a place that you want to be. Mostly. Yeah, so like the cool things you could do with this is like maybe your blue character is like, this is a shotgun or a lightning gun, this is extra ammo, so I've got 5 or 6 bullets on this, and you're like, sick, how about 10 or 12?
Churches.
And they just play that gun to the end of the game.
Supplies. Strange solution uses
Right, like that
supplies. That's very
Is a
good.
very magical Christmas land world where everything has gone right and nothing has gone wrong.
I mean, there's that one new character that just got the ally that got released that puts ammo and stuff on.
Yeah,
It's just
Venture-
better than
Venture
this
is
one.
very good.
Yeah, like especially because you can't do this again.
This
And-
Yeah, like
uses
this,
is support card for strange solutions, so the character can actually
like
do
there are-
everything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There are
'Cause those
some
come with,
cards
like,
that
4,
use,
3, and 4
use supplies that maybe you could want to double, but
But
I wouldn't pay 4 to do
Not
it.
for 4
I think
money.
what Bryn says, that's magical Christmas land.
Yeah,
even
like
with
if you're playing Safina and you're trying to support another player who's using an ammo or supply heavy deck, this card is pretty alright because as Safina you will probably have shit tons of money because you need it.
Yeah. Especially, and then it's a...
That is the situation.
And that is like the world I can see you wanting this in. It's also an event, so it's one of the cards you can put under your character.
It's also illicit, so you can run it in Finn Edwards.
That's
but
very-
instead of it being because it's green and level 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, a very neat green card, in my opinion.
Yeah, this one actually isn't trash. and it's kinda
Adaptable
cool.
does not suck.
Adaptable.
Unlike many green cards.
Yeah. It's also like not super good.
It's not
we'll
great.
it costs only experience as an
Yeah.
asset. It's permanent. In between each game of a campaign, you can swap up to 2 level 0 cards out of your deck in exchange for an equal number of level 0 cards. You must still follow deck building rules, of course.
I feel like this card you don't want to put in your deck the first time you play a campaign, but
Oh,
when you
God,
know
no.
what you're going...
Yeah, or if
Yeah, no, what are you gonna do? Well, I guess I'll just take these out because I don't like them and try something else.
if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're like, I need to put this level 0 card into my deck, you might as well just buy adaptable instead and be like, I can change my level 0 cards whenever I like.
Yeah, especially
You know
like...
this is very good with at the start of the Forgotten Age. You just roll like fine clothes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Roll fine.
That's
clothes
actually
and then, like,
that's what I think
them
adaptable
out.
is very good with in in ones where you know there's going to be
Yeah.
parlay. You can just be like, all right, let's bring in some.
Yeah, cool.
nice
I
clothes.
can dress up all fancy like.
Yeah. No, this is a very meta card.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good,
And
but and it also only costs 1, so like it's very easy to just
Yeah.
let's be honest, if you're buying it, you probably want it for...
You probably wanted to change a level 0
Actually,
card.
thinking about this, this is like a very, very low cost. Okay, so there's actually a lot of situations I think I'd buy this if I was playing green, just because if there's any scenario, just as an example, if I wanted fine clothes, to swap in 2 fine clothes to like guarantee I see, then that would cost me 2 experience. But buying this would just cost me 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pays itself on one switch.
Yeah.
Oh, not even just one card.
It makes you an
Yeah,
experience.
so like if presumably
the first time
when you
use
play a
Yes.
campaign, you're playing them as they come out. So you're gonna see a whole bunch of new level 0 cards before you're done. I think that's where this card is like really best, or when you know what the campaign
Yes.
has.
I wouldn't fault people like who are playing the scenarios as they come out, just being like, yeah, I can like swap in any of the level 0 cards for free.
Yeah, you could do that, but I think that is part of what this card is good for. Like a new level 0 comes out and you're like, oh man, that card's insane for my deck. I want to play it.
Yeah.
And so you just pay for this instead of paying for the 1 copy of that, and then you get another one for
And
free.
I think it's especially good in green because green produces the most experience. That makes it so that you can buy
that's
new and
what
exciting things while
that's
still
what you
fitting
think.
the...
That's
Yes,
fine.
that's true. But yeah, this card's really cool. I want to see more cards that influence deck building through upgrades. I want to see more
Yeah,
of
at the
that.
same time, like, I don't want too many because they do hinder like standalone scenarios, like
That's very
Labyrinth
true.
Translucency, which isn't part of a campaign.
That's very true. That's very
I do want to see some, but like I wouldn't want to see more than maybe 2 per cycle.
Yeah, and I actually even just 1 more and then 2 more cycles and then 1 more.
A big thing is like I like to see them in colors, not green.
I agree.
Which, well, adaptability is one of their themes.
I would love to see a red card that gets a bonus whenever you exile a card. It gives you
That'd be
like
sick.
something that'd be
Oh,
cool.
we do.
Hey, Fantasy Flight, if you're watching, do that. And if you do it, if you've already been doing it, we're still gonna take it.
Yeah, it's Justin's idea.
Delve Too Deep.
Next
I love
pack,
this
like,
card.
wow.
It's an event, costs 1 insight. In player order, each investigator draws 1 card from the top of the encounter deck, then add Delve Too Deep to the victory display.
The more
This
people
card's,
you
like,
have, the
kinda-
worse it is.
Yeah, but it's also just still kind of insane.
Yeah. I feel like if you're playing purple, have someone include this in your first
At the
scenarios.
at the
Unless you're
beginning.
playing Forgotten Age, because that one's fucking
That one's really
insane.
hard.
Yeah.
It depends a little bit on your team. Like, I'd probably include with 2 people. 3's getting a little sketchy unless
Yeah.
you guys can all, like, evade
Yeah.
the snakes effectively and stuff. Make good foot tests.
Yeah.
But, like, for Dunwich Horror, like, I keep this in for the first, like, 2, 3, maybe even 4 scenarios. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, each time, like, for us, each time you play it, that's, like, +3 experience for your team. That's
Yeah,
kind of
I
insane.
suppose the reward does also scale with the number of people you have.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite as hard for the most part. You have to get a little bit
It's
lucky.
it's better for purple than it is for other colors because purple gets to make best possible use out of experience because you're like, I'll spend
Purple
5
cards
on
are
this thing, it's
insane.
sick.
Yeah. You're, like, level 5 stripling. I'll just
Like,
kill
don't-
everything.
yeah,
Who
whatever.
cares?
Right? Like there's a lot of very expensive
Seal of the Elder Sign, I'll just succeed.
Very
Like,
cool.
plus.
Yeah.
purple cards.
It's also the flavor of this card.
Like,
is
not even just
really,
me, but, like, someone else. Like,
Yeah.
man, purple cards are just so...
Whereas if you're playing with like a
Good
bunch of
when they
blue,
cost
a
up
bunch of
6
blue
rates.
characters, like blue cards don't get that cool.
No, like,
You
it's nice to
spent,
be able
once
to
you
buy it.
once you've spent like 15 experience, there's not a whole lot left to do.
Blue cards don't get cool, they get efficient.
Yeah, like you just get cards that like cost less or do like a little more. than-
Same thing with
it's
yellow.
whatever.
Like, for yellow, you don't usually get that much better investigating past the first higher education. You
like
just, like...
magnifying glass upgrade, I
Yeah,
guess.
like, past the first,
Yeah.
like, 6 or 7 experience, you just get better at, like, not yellow things for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But purple cards, yeah,
But
they're cool, and this card is just like
Oh,
the
man.
start of the cool
Yeah.
stuff that's about to start happening for purple.
Purple cards get really flashy, really.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Can't
you
even
get all kinds of cool stuff.
It's a shame that this next one isn't one.
Yeah, I was going to say the same kind of thing. This next one,
This is a signature card, if it can be called that, for Jim Culver, who's a trash investigation plan.
yeah.
He
2
is a
cost,
garbage human.
Brain, Song of the Dead, uses 5 charges in action, spend a charge, fight. This attack uses Brain instead of Fist. You get +1 Brain for this attack. If a skull symbol is revealed, gets +2 damage.
And you know what? You know what Contraband can't double?
Charges.
Charges, because fuck you, I guess. I don't know what.
If this was like a 0 cost card, it'd be worth more than it costing 2 experience.
I would play this card probably if it costs 0 experience and then it just did +1 damage if you hit a skull. But
Yeah.
like you have to hit exactly skull to do extra damage. Like, this is
I mean,
so
I even
bad.
think at 0, drawing a skull at +2 is fine because of how,
Yeah, but skull's usually bad.
yeah. And it's you have to draw a specific shade. It'd be like saying like when you draw
Another sign.
another sign.
When you draw the
It'd be
red
like-
shade.
When you draw the red shade, it'd be like one of 2, right? It'd be like when you draw the Elder Sign or the Tentacles.
Yeah. It's
But
like
Tentacles,
it's just it's expensive, and the impact it have is negligible.
Yeah, it's
No,
not.
it's not good. Don't pay experience for this.
It's like you can do so many things that are so much cooler.
Yeah.
With purple cards.
For one more experience, you could buy Shriveling level 3, and that's like.
And that
this,
one
but, like, you get
actually
the plus
does
2 damage
all
every
the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's just better.
Next card. Oops.
Cost 2, commits for 2 fists. Fast. After you fail a skill test by 2 or less while attacking an enemy engaged with you, deal this attack's damage to a different enemy or location.
This is one of those
I've
cards
played
that
this-
looks cool.
Yeah.
But never works out. I played
kinda
some 2
isn't.
different red decks.
I've also played it in 2 red decks.
I've never played it for its effect. The saving, like, I still play it sometimes and keep it in the deck. And my last deck was like a 1D deck that like had this like fail by 2 or less as a theme. And because I just played all of them. Like this card's saving grace is this 2-punch.
Yeah, but you could also
Like
just
that
play
makes it not
Overpower.
awful.
Yeah.
You could also just like, but like
Yeah, like playing this card instead of an Overpower, it's
Yeah.
not terrible.
it's
but,
fast. I think this card
whatever.
gets a little bit better as you. If you're playing, this card's good if you're playing like a character who can evade pretty okay. And
But
if
can
you're
do
playing
other things
solo,
okay too.
because if you're playing solo, then you can just like sometimes you just get gotten by an enemy showing up, and you're like, well, shit. But this like gives you an out to that,
That's fair.
right? Like it's not. This is one of those cards that looks really good and in practice has been awful, but like unlike the other ones, I haven't given up on it. I still think this card has a niche where it can be good, and like 90% of the reason I'm even willing to keep playing it is because of that double punch.
In my opinion, this card is cursed, and you'll never be able to shoot that other deep one ever. It's just
No, you're not shooting the deep one. The deep one's hitting the other deep one. He goes to like smack you, and he just like boom, and like knocks the other deep one to the leg, and he's like, oh shit.
I killed him. Yeah, but I also, like Travis, have stubbornly not given up on it. I'm probably going to put it
All
in
right.
my next. It's because of that extra fist.
Yeah,
The
but like
only-
you can play it all.
Yeah.
The only red character I've played is William Yorick, and he might as well be a blue character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
So
He's a glorified blue
there's
character.
a lot of these red cards that I'm not super sure on. This one seems
Fire Extinguisher.
like conditionally insane.
2 to play, 1 experience, commits for a foot. Item tool melee, action fight, you get +1 punch for this attack.
But not for that bit.
Action exile fire extinguisher, evade, you get +3 foot for this test. If you're
Yeah.
successful, invade each other enemy engaged with you as well. Takes up 1 hand slot as fire. That doesn't make sense. You need 2 hands to wield a fire
Not if
extinguisher.
you
Like not if
have
you're hitting them
a
with it.
prehensile tail and are a monkey.
It's true. Like Wendy Adams.
No, but like even look at the art. The guy's using 2 hands for it,
Yeah.
and he's attacking a guy.
I feel like that
attacking you.
was a function over flavor, because if
Yeah,
this
like,
was
if
2
this was
hands,
two
I probably
hands,
would have
I
been like,
would- no,
oh.
like I would not pay an experience and 2 hands in order to use an item that I'm gonna have to pay an experience to put back in my deck in order
Man,
to do the thing it's
Okay,
good
so
for.
if this was like 2, if this was like base 0, but like also 2 hands or
I
base
think
0
that-
experience, I
zero
consider
zero
playing
but 2 hands, like
it.
maybe.
Even, okay, so like yeah, you still get to
Because
you
you
use
like
it
if you
as
if
a
you
garble
exile
weapon,
if
but
you
could
exile
also,
it, you get to put it back in for free, right? If it costs 0. If
I
you
think-
exile it and you have not the correct number of cards for your deck
Oh, maybe yeah.
Then yes,
anymore,
yeah.
you get the one back for free, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's never come up.
So
I
it'd
think
probably
all
just
the
be-
cards with
Like,
exile
I'm
cost
pretty sure it
experience.
came up once where we had an exile and somebody didn't want to pay to put that card back into their deck.
Yeah, I think you just have to follow the deck
And I think
building
you just have to
restrictions.
follow deck building restrictions, and if it's 0, you get
Yeah,
if it's
okay.
level 0, you get it for free.
Yeah, this card's like not bad, but it's also just not great.
Yeah, like I understand why it's not free.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't pay for it.
There's
either.
lots of yellow card or red cards that like exile themselves and cost experience. I'd rather play over.
Yeah, like I would much sooner play like Devil's Luck or Test of Will.
The other one that's in that pack, Test of Will, costs 1 billion experience, Bryn. It doesn't exile itself.
Sure, whatever.
Test of Will is like the super good
Are
one for the
you
course that we
sure?
don't play.
There's the Devil's Luck.
No,
and,
that's Will to Survive.
Will it survive?
Test of Will is the one that cancels.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the one-
It's the guy in the street.
This
And
part's
he's
probably
like,
gonna be
man, I'm
edited
so
out, so don't
cool.
worry about it.
Yeah, it's this guy. He's like, he looks like Batman.
He's
In a
Arkham's
brown
Batman.
He does. Look at me. He's looking over a city. He's like, "Grr."
He's like this field
I hate
is
the people
my
who live
field,
here.
but it's like kind of on
Yeah.
fire.
Flare. This card's like quite good.
Cost 2, commits for a wild symbol. Either choose one. Fight, you get +3 fist and deal +2 damage for this attack. Exile flare. Or search the top 9 cards of any investigator's deck for an ally asset and put the play under your control. Then exile flare,
Yeah.
shuffle the search deck.
So I think like the red base ally deck is one of the strongest ones in the game once it gets rolling, and like flare is a very very strong part of that. Just being able to like I'll pay 2, I'll go find the red glove man, I'll do whatever I need to.
The other thing that is very important that we did not know when I was playing this as I was Ashcan Pete, is that if you fail to find, the card is not exiled.
Sick.
Yeah, you don't have to exile because it does not resolve the effect.
If you can't fulfill the first part of the effect, you don't do the rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, like, the fight is just,
Yeah, like the fight
solid.
part of this is also very good. This, unlike Fire Extinguisher, is a card that I would not mind paying 1 experience for to keep putting back in my deck.
This card's kind of ridiculous.
It's actually pretty good.
It's very good.
Like that, it's like backstab.
And you know
but
the best
better.
part is you can be like, "Hey, Bryn, I'm gonna shoot a flare to look for Leo DeLuca."
Yeah, like
and
if,
then just take him.
if your green guy hasn't found their Leo yet, you're just like,
I'll take him.
don't mind if I do.
This is like backstab, but like if you're Wendy, because then
it's-
your punch is 1, your foot's
Yeah, it's
4.
it's like backstab, but if you were better all the time, all the time. Like, even if you have punch 1, this
Man, I
is
should
like
play
backstab.
Flare more. Holy shit!
It's very good. It's especially now that I know that you don't lose it if you miss. This card is very strong. It costs 1 XP too, so it's that's the whole red theme.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, a red theme.
It is, yeah, like one of Red's themes. The other ones are like innate and like skills or whatever.
Yeah.
And
No, innate is a innate's what's
or
it
not
called?
innate.
Innate's like just a.
What are they called? It's like a subtype on skills, whatever. It doesn't matter. We haven't
It's
seen the card
skills
that cares about it.
These next 2 cards should probably review together, but they're Smoking Pipe and Painkillers. Smoking Pipe
Oh,
costs
man,
1 to
these cards
play,
are
commits
sick.
for a brain, uses 3 supplies, so you can double them with Contraband.
Yeah, you should.
As a
do
triggered
that. That's
ability, you can spend a
waste of
supply,
time.
exhaust it, and take damage, heal 1 horror, and then Painkillers
The other one
does
is
the
the
reverse.
opposite. Yeah.
I think that like Smoking Pipe in general is like significantly better than Painkillers in
I
for
think
the most part.
Painkillers is better.
I disagree. I have played Mark, and being able to juice your health and draw a card to heal horror is pretty
So
sick.
Painkillers with Agnes let you just do damage for free.
You mean with Zoe?
No, with
No, with
Agnes.
Agnes.
With
Yeah,
Agnes.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. With Agnes. Secondly,
How
You're
do you
playing-
know that? You didn't play purple characters.
no, you're right. I
Ever.
don't, but I'm capable of reading them. The only things I can't read are locations that are in play. Apparently,
I mean, we all have
So-
that sickness.
Yeah, well,
that's a problem. But I think these ones are better because if you're playing a character who has, like, is weak on sanity, you're probably playing a better way than Smoking Pipe to deal with that.
Mhm.
And since you can deal with that, this card means that you can deal with meat damage too. Right? Like if you're playing liquor in your deck, or somebody in your party is playing liquor in their deck, and you have this, you can be like, cool, I'll hit up that age-old combo of pain pills and whiskey.
Yeah.
And it says
Justin's very right to be excited about this.
see what
really.
happens.
yeah, so you can actually then put you can take 1 horror and put it on Pete Sylvester
To heal a damage.
to heal a damage.
That
What
seems
a
good, yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
All right, well that definitely makes this one better. than it.
Painkillers, actually, maybe
The
Painkillers
other,
is
okay,
just
so the
'cause-
other
okay,
one, if you have a Smoking Pipe and you're wearing the armor of Ardennes,
Yeah.
then you can heal sanity for free.
Yeah, Painkillers also lets you put damage on your Key of Yes, like the human cards you are for playing that card.
Yeah, I think these cards are both pretty solid. Being able to twink damage around between, like
Whatever
whichever
you
stats
don't
you
want.
have. Like sometimes you're playing a guy who's 5'9", right?
I should play these cards more often.
And you're like,
Yeah.
maybe I only have 5 health and I will die to that a lot.
The only thing I find with them is that they're I don't like they're good cards, but I actually don't think they're for everybody. Like some people,
No, you don't always
Yeah.
want them.
But like for the investigators, they're good for.
Yeah.
They're great.
Or with
For
this
the-
whole Pete Sylvester
if you're
thing,
playing,
that seems sweet.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
playing like a red character with Peter Sylvester, or you're playing, like a character, one of the 5'9s or the 9'5s. Like you being able to twink damage off your small one into your big one is very important.
Yes.
It's very useful.
Well, that's the Miskatonic Museum. What do we think overall for this one? I think it's very good.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
purple cards from this one of them's very good, and the other one is very bad.
That's how they all are, except for yellow.
For the that's not true.
But
That's
there's
not
areas,
true.
or sorry, not all. Okay, so there's always one that's like
Emergency
way
Aid
better
is
than the other one.
pretty
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
But
But there's
Brother
enough-
Savior's way better than Emergency.
There's
Aid.
enough good cards in
Pathfinder
this
is
set
not
that
popular.
we think this is a good purchase if
Yeah.
you're not doing the
If you don't care about like continuity in your story.
yeah. Or if you're
Yeah.
one of those weird people playing standalone for everything, in which case
Yeah, that's pretty.
we need to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this one, even if you only
Get some
got
friends you
Smoking
can play
Pipe and
consistently,
Painkillers
man,
out
like-
of this set, I think you'd still probably be doing all right.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of investigators who have a very hard time with one aspect of the game, and those kind of even you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, discarding for a brain,
Is,
possibly the most valuable in a vacuum,
yeah.
because not only does purple say only brain matters ever, but also the game is like brain matters a whole lot.
Well, I mean, like brain and foot have to matter a lot
Yeah.
more when it comes.
Yeah, because they
brain in
don't- they don't
particular,
do
because they
a
don't do
thing.
anything else. Yeah.
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 You don't fire and basket with them anyway.
Thanks for
Cut us
watching.
off.